Franks. I'm a member of the law firm of Motley Rice, based in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. It's an honor and privilege to be with you today, standing here with these three Gold Star families who are still suffering with the loss of their three children. As some background for our firm, Motley Rice has been involved in anti-terrorism and human rights work for the past nearly 15, 16 years. We've been involved in some of the groundbreaking 9/11 litigation, involved in litigation against Jordan's largest bank, Arab Bank, and we have also been involved in various litigation against state sponsors of terrorism, including Libya, Iran, and others. But we're here today not to speak of the actions of some rogue state sponsor state, but rather of an ally of the United States who was acting very contrary to that title. The biggest problem that we've had throughout the ensuing 2 years has been the Jordanian response to this attack. It has been very akin to the switching stories that has happened with Saudi Arabia's treatment of the Jamal Khashoggi killing in Istanbul. First, Jordan announced that the Americans had disobeyed direct orders from Jordanian troops, which led to a deadly exchange of small arms fire. Allegedly, these direct orders were that they should stop. Unfortunately, there's a video of this incident, and there was no such thing that occurred. Then Jordanian officials claimed that the shooting was an accident. Abu Tayya's efforts to sprint towards the individuals who had tried to surrender and still attempt to kill them makes any suggestion that this was an accident a farce. In a further insult to the integrity of these members of the special forces, a whisper campaign was instituted within the Jordanian government that they were intoxicated. They had been consuming alcohol out on the training range, and that was the reason for the confrontation. There's no evidence to support this conclusion. The Jordanian story continued to evolve over the ensuing months, claiming that their soldier acted within the rules of engagement. Anyone who has seen the video knows that there was no rules of engagement followed. As I've stated, all of the positions that Jordan put forth in the first 6 months following this incident were belied by two very important points. There's video of the assault, and not a single other Jordanian soldier who was at this checkpoint area intervened in any way to assist either the Americans or to try and stop Abu Tayya from his assault. They ran, they hid, but they did nothing to stop it. On March 6th, 2017, over 4 months after the attack, the Jordanian ambassador sent a letter to Texas Representative Ted Poe, responding to his questions that he raised to her about the shooting. She falsely stated that the investigation found no evidence of premeditation, that the rules of engagement were applied, that the fire exchange was quickly halted, especially when they found out that friendly U.S. forces were on the other side, and that it was a tragic accident devoid of any terrorist or hostile motives or premeditated act towards the friendly U.S. side. The truth can be found in the U.S. military's investigation. The U.S. military issued an investigative report that said that there was no precipitating event to justify this shooting. The rules of engagement were not applied. The intent was evident from the actions of Abu Tayya, and the incident lasted over 7 minutes. This was not something that lasted 30 seconds. It was a 7-minute assault. But Jordan's view of the attack and Abu Tayya's actions were upheld by video of Abu Tayya's mother claiming that he was rewarded, that he was given a promotion after the attack, and that he was provided an award for his actions on that day. While Jordan has subsequently, likely due to increased diplomatic pressure from the United States, determined that Abu Tayya did not act within the rules of engagement and has subsequently prosecuted and convicted him, that has not satisfied the families. It has not satisfied justice in this case, because for months, not only were these individuals' loved ones murdered, but their memories were dragged through the mud as they were being blamed as the perpetrators by Jordan. We're asserting claims on behalf of these families under what is called the Anti-Terrorism Act. That is 18 U.S.C. 2333. Under the Anti-Terrorism Act, Jordan, by violating its obligations under international law, we believe has waived its sovereign immunity. We believe that it has engaged in an exercise that aided and abetted a terrorist in carrying out an attack on Americans. We also believe that Jordan is responsible for claims of wrongful death, of survival, which includes the pain and suffering of these individuals, and for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Finally, as to Abu Taya, we have alleged violations of the Torture Victim Protection Act for the extrajudicial killing of these 3 American soldiers. Now, we recognize that Jordan will constantly invoke its sovereign immunity, but we truly believe that the sovereign immunity has been waived in this situation due to the gross violations of international law that occurred on that day and the gross violations of their bilateral obligations under international law.